Welcome everybody to a review of another Imprint release, and it is 1952's Something to Live For. So this is directed by George Stevens, who I've not seen anything else from before, but I have heard of a few of his films like Shane, Giant and A Place in the Sun. So yeah, this clocks in at 89 minutes long. It's a drama, stars Joan Fontaine, who was in Suspicion, Kiss the Blood Off My Hands and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, as well as Ray Milland, who was in Dial M for Murder, The Lost Weekend, X, The Man with the X-Ray Eyes, Ministry of Fear and The Big Clock, among other films, as well as Teresa Wright, who is also in Shadow of a Doubt. So 3 actors there who have been in 3 different Alfred Hitchcock films. And yeah, this is about aging advertising executive Alan Miller, who is a recovered alcoholic who now does interventions on behalf of Alcoholics Anonymous. And he is called by the elevator operator of a residential hotel to come and intervene in the case of one of the guests, who is struggling Broadway actress Jenny Carey. So the two, though, however, find they have even more in common than their taste for drink. So, yeah, this feels like a spiritual successor to The Lost Weekend, which also starred Ray Milland, who, he was an alcoholic in that. He was really on the edge of basically killing himself with drinking so much. And yeah, although it's not quite as good as that film, that it is still an thoroughly engrossing effort, which features 2 superb lead performances. The supporting cast is also really good. It is well paced. The plot looks at alcoholism from 2 completely different sides in a highly effective manner, as you have Ray Milland's character Alan, who is recovering. He's helping people. He's doing the right thing in terms of using his experience to help others, but his interactions with Teresa Wright's character Jenny starts flaring up his previous alcoholism as you see him in something struggling with alcohol. He's either in a bar and he's struggling with it, or he's at a party and he's struggling with it, even using alcohol to wash paint brushes with. It starts setting him off, just the smell of it in the air. So it's really, really well done in that regard. And yeah, it is well shot. The character interactions are well written. The score is solid. It is thematically weighty. And although the ending is rather open-ended, I like the rest of the film more than enough to not be overly annoyed by that. Because, yeah, it doesn't wholly resolve the character interactions in some regards. But I guess if you look at it in another way, it does wholly resolve it, as not to get into spoilers, but you do see characters finally get to the point that they wish they were at the start of the film, or thought that they were at the start of the film. So yeah, it's a really rather nicely done release from Imprint. So you get a nice slipcover with this. It's number 199, so the one after the previous film we looked at. And yeah, you get a few extras on it on the disc as well. So it's a 1080p high definition presentation from a new 2022 2K scan by Paramount Pictures. You get audio commentary by film historians Daniel Kramer and David Duval from 2023, and Neil Sinyard on Something to Live For, interview with the author of George Stevens, The Films of a Hollywood Giant, from 2023. And yeah, get different kind of cover with the disc itself. And then you get the main slipcover artwork on the disc as well. So yeah, really, really nicely done. It's a little bit of a hard watch, especially if you've had addictions before, or you're struggling with addictions at the moment. But yeah, it's certainly not the the most modern take on alcoholism. You'd certainly see more modern films treat it as a lot more in a different way. But it was the first film to deal with Alcoholics Anonymous in a quite, frankly, frank way, especially in terms of a sizable production. You got a well-known cast, you got a well-known director. So yeah, and it seems to have slipped in between George Stevens' other notable films like Giant and Shane and A Place in the Sun, as they came either side of this. And this is obviously a lot smaller production. It's only 89 minutes long. It's a lot shorter than those 3 other films. So yeah, it does feel like it's a little bit lost in terms of his grand filmography, but thankfully Imprint have given it a nice release, and yeah, hopefully more people will get around to seeing it as a result. So yeah, highly recommend it if you've not seen it, and if you have, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.